Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Good morning sir. My name is Muhammad Akbar and I'm for B class. Student ID 222324069 from the English department. Today I would like to present my curriculum analysis and learning planning for PhD English language in the Merdeka curriculum. In this presentation, I will discuss the analysis of the learning outcomes or capaian pembelajaran or CP, the design of the learning progression maps or ATP, assignment strategies, remedial and enrichment programs, and finally the conclusion. And before discussing the main topic, let me briefly explain the structure of this presentation. This presentation consists of six main sections. First, the introduction, which includes the background, research, question, and objective. The second, the analysis of the PhD English learning outcomes. Third, the learning progression maps or ATP. Fourth, assessment. Fifth, remedial and enrichment programs, and finally the conclusion. Now let us begin with the introduction section. This study focusing on analyze the English learning outcome for PhD in the Merdeka curriculum and translating them into learning progression maps for academic year. The purpose of the analysis is to understand how the curriculum is organized and how teachers can plan meaningful learning activities that align with the expected competence. To understand the importance of the topic, we first need to look the background. The Merdeka curriculum was introduced by the Indonesian Ministry of Education as a response to learning loss experienced during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. This curriculum provides greater flexibility for teachers and schools to design learning that is more relevant to a student needs and context. One important change in Merdeka curriculum is the replacement of basic competency or KD with learning outcomes or capaian pembelajaran or CP, commonly known as CP. Unlike KD, with focus on competency for each grade level, CP is organized by phases. This allows teachers to have more flexibility in arranging learning activities according to student learning progress. For English language in PhD, which cover grades 7, 8, 9, students are expected to communicate effectively using English in various situations through oral, written, and visual text. Because of this, teachers need to develop a clear learning progression maps or ATP to ensure that learning activities are systematic and aligned with the curriculum goals. Based, uh, Based on this big background, three research questions were formulated. First, how are the English learning outcomes PhD structured within the Merdeka curriculum? The second, what elements and components should be elaborated in the learning progression maps? Third, how should the learning progression maps for PhD English be designed for one academic year? The objective of this study are to analyze PhD English learning outcomes, describe their main elements and implications for instruction and design, and ATP that support effective learning implementation. After discussing the objective, I will now move on the analysis of the learning outcomes. According to Merdeka curriculum, students in PhD are expected to English through oral, written, and visual text to communicate in both formal and informal situations. The focus on curriculum is not only on understanding grammar but also on developing communicate competence. Students are encouraged to English meaningfully in everyday communication as well as in academic context. This approach helps students become active users of English rather than passive learners who only memorize language rules. To better understand the learning outcome, we need to look at three main elements. The first element is listening and speaking. Students are expected to understand spoken English and communicate their ideas effectively through discussion, role plays, and presentation. The second element is reading and viewing. Students learn to understand different types of text, identify their purpose and structure, and interpret information from visual and digital media. The third element is writing and presenting. Students develop the ability to write different genres of text and presentation using various media. The curriculum also includes operational verbs such as use, comprehend, identify, respond, produce, analyze, reflect, and present. These verbs are important because they help teachers formulate specific and measurable learning objectives. They also indicate the progression from lower order thinking skill to higher order thinking skill. After analyzing the CP, the next step is developing the learning progression maps or ATP. ATP stands for Alur Tujuan Pembelajaran. It functions as a roadmap that guides teacher in organizing learning objectives throughout the academic year. The ATP is developed directly from the learning outcome and follow as logical sequence, from simpler competention to more complex competention. A well-designed ATP ensures that learning activities are connected and systematic, allowing students to build their skill gradually over time. The ATP in this project is designed on four main principles. First, it derived directly from the learning outcome. Second, it follows a progressive sequence from simply to complex competention. And the third, the integrates all elements of the learning outcomes. And fourth, it is contextual and relevant to the need of Indonesian junior high school students. This ATP contains the 10 learning units, 144 teaching periods, and 36 effective weeks. The overall design ensures continuity and progression throughout the academic year. Based on the principle, a sequence of learning objectives was developed. Students begin within basic communication skills, such as introducing themselves and responding to classroom instruction. After that, they learning descriptive text, recount text, produce text, narrative text, and report text. Students also learn to express opinion, agreement, and disagreement, analyze advertisement and digital media, and finally complete a multimodal presentation project. The second is arranged progressively because students need to master basic communication skill before moving on to more complex text types and learning tests. The final project integrates listening, speaking, reading, and writing skill in one meaningful activity. And to support the implementation of ATP, several teaching approaches are used. The first is the genre-based approach, which is help students understand the purpose, structure, and language feature of different text types. The second is communicative language teaching, which emphasizes authentic communication and meaningful language use. The third is project-based learning, which allows students to develop creativity, collaboration, and problem-solving skills through projects. The fourth is differentiated instruction, which recognize that students have different learning needs and abilities. Various learning media are also used, including audio, visual, digital platform, worksheet, and project resource. This method and media help creating engaging and student-centered learning experience. Assessment is an essential part of the learning process. In the ATP, three types of assessment are used: diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, and summative assessment. Diagnostic assessment is conducted before learning begins to identify student prior knowledge and learning needs. Formative assessment is conducted during the learning process to monitor student progress and provide feedback. Summative assessment is conducted at the end of instruction to evaluate student achievement of the learning objective. Together, this assessment helps teacher make informed instructional decision and improve learning quality. Example of diagnostic assessment include oral questioning, vocabulary checks, and discussion about student prior knowledge. Formative assessment include worksheet, quizzes, classroom observation, group discussion, and oral presentation. Meanwhile, summative assessment include written tests and performance-based tasks. Assessment results are measured using clear rubrics focusing on context, vocabulary, grammar, and text structure. The use of rubrics helps ensure fairness, consistency, and objectivity in the assessment process. After assessment, teacher need to provide follow-up activities through remedial and enrichment program. Remedial activities are intended for students who have not yet achieved an expected learning objective. These activities may include additional explanation, wide practice, and individual mentoring. On the other hand, enrichment activities are designed for students who have achieved or exceeded the learning objective. Example include analyzing authentic text, creating infographic, conducting independent research, and presenting the work to classmates. This program reflects the principle of different instruction and ensure that all students receive appropriate learning support. And finally, I would like to present the conclusion. Based on the analysis, the PSD English learning outcome are organized into three integrated elements: listening and speaking, reading and viewing, and writing and presenting. These elements work together to develop student communicative competency in a holistic way. The Merdeka curriculum emphasizes meaningful, contextual, and student-centered learning while promoting creativity, critical thinking, and global awareness. In addition, the ATP provides a systematic sequence of learning objectives that support gradual skill development throughout the academic year. The alignment between learning outcomes, ATP, teaching method, and assessment is essential for effective curriculum implementation. And these are the main findings of my curriculum analysis and learning planning project. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this presentation provides a clear understanding the PSD English learning outcomes and ATP design within Merdeka curriculum. And enough. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.